Hello everyone. So today we're going to do some different repair for some old electronics, the vacuum tubes electronics, not a solid state. So this is the device. Delmonico is a stereophone and is a stereo. That's good. There's a churn disc and there is just AM. This is the condition of it. Of course there is scratches, and this is very old unit. So here in the back we have the model number is 759, and we have the diagram for the tubes if you need to change the tubes. Is 115 volt 60 hertz and is a 45 watt. So let's take apart, and or before we take apart, let's turn it on. You can see this light is on. This noise, no matter what the volume is up or down, it doesn't go. And the device is picking up some channels. This is the device inside. Yeah, you can see here two plugs. So right and left, two speakers. This is a real stereo. That's the tubes. Yeah, I don't see no cracked tubes. This is a schematic. Yep. So here is the schematic in case if you need it. So because the sound, like the volume is not controlling the noise. I mean the noise is before even the volume. And usually these capacitors here, the filter capacitors, this one here, this one here, and this one here, that's what's usually causing the problems. And that's the only capacitors that's connected to the ground, plus this ones, but this is look like is a disc capacitor. I'm not sure. There is another two here, 250 picofarad, I think. So I did fix a lot of devices with these bad capacitors. So the filter capacitors, the input or the power filter capacitors, they goes bad. So let's check that first before we go next. Yeah, this is maybe is a 1959 model. So it's about over 56 years old. So you can see that output transformer is kind of a little bit very fragile. I just was moving the wires and start cracking apart. So I cut the two wires that's going here, that's going from here to the speaker, and one from here. That's the speaker wires, just to don't cause no damage in that transformers. So this is the tubes I removed from here. I'm gonna put it back later. And yeah, sometimes this capacitor here, they go bad too. But at the moment, the first thing we're going to need to check is that power filter capacitors. The one is here. This is the capacitor. This one here. This is 3 capacitors in one. So here the power came from here. We have 0.1 microfarad. I think it's this one here. Yeah, this is the 0.1 microfarad. That's what the input, that's the plug. If you can't follow it, just go here. It's go to this capacitor. Then from that capacitor, it's go to 10 ohm resistor. The one is here, that's a 10 ohm resistor. Then there is a diode, this one here, that's the black diode. Then from that diode, it's go to the first capacitor. So from this diode, here you can see that gray wire is over there. It's go all the way, and here in the bottom, that's the gray wire. Let's go to the first capacitor. Put back that schematic. Let's see if we can read anything. So this you can see that square. This means that's the first capacitor is a 60 microfarad, 150 volt. Then there is a triangle connector, is a 60 microfarad and 150 volt. Then there is no sign no symbol is a 60 microfarad and 150 volt. So there is a 3 capacitors that's connected to the ground. So here is the ground, and we have 3 capacitors. Usually there is a mark over there where the square and the triangle shape. So in this capacitor we have 3 capacitors is the same. All of them is a 60 microfarad 150 volt. It's gonna be easy for us to install a new one, because all the 3 capacitors, they're going to be connected to the ground. This is a 60 microfarad. Anything from 60 to 100 microfarad, it will work. So this is just for you to, let me show you how the capacitor is. So this is the bottom of the capacitor. We have the 3 plugs plus the ground. So this one is going to the ground, and we usually there is a mark square here or triangle, then square. This one and this one has no mark. So there is a capacitor to here is a 60 microfarad and 150 volt, and there is another capacitor from here, then another capacitor, all of them connected to the ground. So there is 3 capacitors. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get 3 capacitors. We'll connect them to the ground. We connect them to the ground, and so this the connectors is gonna be triangle, square. It's not look like square, and this here no sign. So let's test that capacity. So this is the 3 wires, 1, 2, 3, plus the ground. I'm going to keep this capacitor in the place because I like to keep the old stuff is like to keep it looks the same. And so let's test. On the ground, and we put this one somewhere here. So the first capacitor is not reading at all. There is nothing on it. So this is the second capacitor. Cannot be read as well. And the only capacitor is can read is that one over there. Okay, this one over here, that's the only one. The other two, this one and this one, is cannot be read, and this one is read as a picofarad. So 100 and something picofarad. Yeah, 127 picofarad, and supposed to be like 60 microfarad. So I took the capacitors from this power board. Yeah, all I found here in my place is a 68 microfarad, 450 volt. So this capacitors is gonna survive another 50 years with no problem. And this is how I connect them. That's the ground. Is connect all the three capacitors connect to the ground together. And this is the output, or this is the triangle, square, and no symbol other connectors. So I'm gonna put the hot glue here to keep them together, and I will cut the wires from there, and I glue this capacitor somewhere here like this. Alright, this is the capacitor I made. 3 capacitors. The negative side is connected together in the middle, and that's the wire from it. Then we have 3 other wires. Like here, this one is gonna go to the ground, and we have 3 other wires. Yeah, it's better when you work in these electronics, the old ones, to take pictures of the wires before you start taking it apart.
So this one here. And the other wire is here. KB40.
So let's put it together and see if it's gonna work. So I plugged the device to the power, and let's test it. See, off here.
Why don't we use yards instead of meters? This is America, which went viral after she was seen stumbling across the finish line. She didn't stumble across, she collapsed.
So it works.
Before collapsing to the ground. William
You can
told
see
Fox
the
News'
tubes.
Laura Ingraham that she suffered a temporary loss of
It's on.
consciousness.
Alright, the unit works. The turntable works.
The police keep people safe. The only
Close proximity. If you get the vaccine, it doesn't matter whether you're close proximity. I talked to 2 immunologists. The whole point of the vaccine is that you won't get it. And they said that baseball players actually aren't in close proximity because they're out in the open. And even in a locker room now, they got a lot of space between them, much more so than you would in a typical office or that you would in a grocery store. But it doesn't matter whether you're in close proximity. The whole point of the vaccine is your body resists it. And like I said, 99.98.
Right, let's try again. There is a lot of scratch in the disc, so of course it's gonna be but it works.
So I was for mask. And what's the purpose of me getting the vaccine if I can't be close to people? And we've also found that and the number's even declining now on that. It's less than 1 out of every 10,000 cases of COVID came from contact.
All right, for the
You can shake hands for God's sake.
For the turntable, I just WD-40 and I spray the mechanism to be like more free to move, and the gears, and it works. So this is 60-70 years old unit, which works good, and because the customer, they want to put minimum money on it. They don't want to go change any part. They said just fix whatever it has. So we make it works. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you next one.